In today's video, we're going to talk about common assertion methods that you can use in Cypress automation testing. So let's start with some basic assertions and then talk about implicit versus explicit assertions. So to begin with, basic assertions, we have basically checking the visibility, existence, and state of elements using should and expect. And right here we have an example. For example, we can use side.get the button 1, and then we can use should, and then we'll have this value for button 1. We can also use side.get button 1 should be visible, and then click it afterwards. This is another example of an assertion statement that we can use. We can use this expect right here using this sort of syntax to do our assertion. So next I'm going to talk about the difference between implicit and explicit assertions. And so to begin with, implicit assertions are a powerful feature of Cypress that simplify test scripts and help ensure smooth and reliable text execution without unnecessary code overhead. So this is very simple. You don't have to explicitly state anything. You just simply use sci.get or sci.contains. On the other hand, explicit assertions allow testers to precisely control and define the behavior they want to verify. So Cypress uses Chai, Chai-jQuery, and Chai and Chai assertion libraries to write these explicit validations. And this is an example of an assertion that is explicit right here. So on this page, I have several different common assertion methods that you can use. Right here we have exist. So to check if something exists, we can do .should exist, or we can do expect my variable to exist. For empty, if you want to check if something's empty, then you can do .should be empty, or you can do expect the emptiness to be empty. Or to check something's ID, you can use .should have.id for foo, or you can use expect that certain ID to have ID foo. And then to be called once with exactly, this is something else that you can do. And so you can use .should have been called once with exactly args, or you can have expect to be called once with exactly args as well. So these are different assertion methods that you can use in Cypress. So now I'm going to show you how we can set up a project using Cypress to explore these different assertion methods. So this is a project that I have open. I'm just going to create a new script for all the assertions that we talked about today. So I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to name it assertions. And within this file, let's write some different assertions that we can use for our script. So first, using the syntax of Cypress, I'm going to do describe. So describe, and we're going to name this Cypress test, and then this is like that. And then now we'll do it. We'll do our first test. So for our first test, let's name it navigate to web elements and assert them using should. So that's what we'll be doing. Now let's do what we want to do. So first I'm going to do sci.once, sci.once, and then we'll use uncaught exception, and then we'll let this we'll set this as this, so that if we have any error in any of these specific tests, it'll continue to the next one. And then what we'll do is we'll do sci.visit our base URL. So our base URL is set as adiumlucid.com right now. And then what we'll do is we'll do sci.contains tests, and we'll do .click those we'll click that element that contains test. And now what we'll do is we'll do side.contains, and then we'll find this element called web elements. So find something that contains web elements. And then what we'll do is we'll also click this. But in this one, we're going to use the argument force is equal to true, so that even if it's not active, we're still clicking it. Next, what we'll do is we'll do sci.get h1, and then we'll do dot contains web elements and locators, and then we'll also do sci.get h1 dot should have.text web elements and locators. So we're checking that this one will have this h1 element will have this basic web elements and locators as the text inside it. And so we're using have.text for this assertion. Now what we'll do is we'll do another one, so assert something else. We'll do if sci.get submit 3 dot should have dot value submit 3. Then we'll do sci.get dot submit 3 dot click and then finally we'll do sci.get. So now we'll do it has this submit 1, and then we'll do dot should. So we'll do another assertion right here, and this one will be have dot value. We'll check that it has the value submit 1, and if it does, we'll click it. And so this is what we're testing here. So first, we're basically visiting the site, we're clicking these two different elements, and then we're finding the first header, and then we're seeing if the header contains this text in the header. Next, what we're doing is we're going to this submit 3 button, and then we're checking that this has text submit 3. And if that's true, then we're going to click that button. And then finally, we're going to check for this ID, submit 1, and then we're checking if it has basically the text, submit 1, and then we're clicking it. So this is what we're doing. Now let's run this and see how it runs. So I can do npx Cypress start. Cypress open. Go ahead, do E2E testing, go to Chrome, and then we'll go to our little test right here, assertions, and we'll see it run. So first we visit this web page, and then it goes through all this really fast. So I'll go through one of it at a time. It'll click each of these elements right here, and then it'll bring us to this site. Now we will basically do an assertion to check if this contains web elements and locators, and it says it does. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll find the button contains submit 3, and then because it does, it'll then click the button like that. Now after that, it'll get submit 1 button, and then it will basically click that submit 1 button as well. And so at the end, we'll see that the submit 1 button is no longer there. So this is what we have so far. Let's run a few more assertions and see how they go. So now, since you know the basic format, I'm actually just going to copy over some assertions over, and I'll walk through it with you. So in this one, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to golf and assert them using should. So first we have this statement, and then we'll visit the base URL, and then we'll do whatever contains test, we'll click that. And then whatever contains golf course underscore golf underscore store course, we'll click that using force is true. And then what we'll do is we'll get the select ID or the select class, and then we'll find option, and then we'll say that this should have a length of 11. And then finally, we'll find the class for button, and then we'll do the first one, and then we'll say that we'll see if this is visible and click it. So that's what we have so far. Let me show you how this works. So I'm actually going to close this, and now we'll run this again. E2E testing, Chrome. And we'll go down to here, go back to assertions. We'll check out the navigate to golf now. And we see that it goes through each of those steps by clicking those things in the beginning. And then it'll basically find the select button, it'll find options, and then it'll see if this has a length of 11 or more. And then it'll basically find this button, and then it'll see if the button is visible and assert for these. So that's that. Let's do another one. In this one, we're navigating to the web elements and asserting them using expect. And so we're doing the same stuff here, going to web elements. And then after there, we're doing these three different assertions using expect. So the first one was we're asserting that this text equals to web elements.locator using the equal here and this. And then we're also expecting that this text right here contains this right here for H2. And then for the button one, we're expecting it to be visible. So let me save this. We'll actually add another one and show you how it goes for both of them. And then let me add a little bit more onto the end of this actually. So I'll add another test here, right here. And this is, we'll get the text checkbox here, and then we'll check and expect that this is unchecked. So save that. Let me show you how this runs. So this is the third one. We visit this website. You see, we click all of these to load this new page. And then in this new page, we're asserting that H1 contains web elements and locators. H2 contains childcare registration right here. And then we're going to the buttons. We're seeing if they're visible and exist. So we check if the button's visible and exist and the checkbox. And so yeah, so this is assertion. I hope you found this video helpful. We talked about different assertions that you can use. We showed you assertions using the should method right here. We showed you assertions using should methods here as well, down here. And then we showed you assertions using the expect method right here, right here. If you found this video helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for listening.